Cordy.
Thank you, Minister, for being with us today. And my question is a follow-up to that of Senator Cormier. Minister, the founding principle of Confederation was based on proper representation for all regions of government. Representation by population in the House of Commons was balanced by regional representation in the Senate of Canada. In fact, Minister, historians have said that without regional representation in the Senate, Confederation would not have occurred in 1867. Unfortunately, we have seen those principles being increasingly ignored over the last 6 years. We now have a Senate with 16 empty seats, with 2 more in the next few weeks. I'm going to ask you today about the Atlantic region. Minister, 3 Senate seats in New Brunswick are vacant. That means 30% of New Brunswick seats are vacant. 3 seats are empty in Nova Scotia. 30% vacancy in Nova Scotia. Prince Edward Island is missing 50% of the representation, 2 out of 4, and 1/3 or 30% of Newfoundland and Labrador seats will be vacant within the next few weeks. That means that 1 in every 3 Atlantic seats in the Senate will be vacant, some for more than 3 years. Minister, when will the Prime Minister restore regional representation for the Senate and fill those vacancies? This would not be acceptable in the House of Commons, and it should not be acceptable in the Senate.
Minister LeBlanc.
Mr. Speaker, through you, Senator Cordy, thank you for that, for the question and your understandable and reasonable concern around those vacancies. As an Atlantic Canadian, I too share your view of the importance of our region, but it's true of other regions, and I totally share your analysis of the terms of Confederation and the role that this chamber plays in balancing out what is an increasing trend in the House in which I sit for the populous provinces and regions. So this is an example, I think, Senator, where we need to move expeditiously. As I say, I am confident that in the coming weeks, maybe the coming days, you will have the good news of some exciting colleagues that will join you here. In conversations I've had, I'm enthusiastic by the quality of women and men who want to serve with all of you in the Senate, who apply through a transparent application process that many of you yourselves went through. And my understanding from the officials at the Privy Council office that run this process, we're victims of our own success in some cases, Senator Cordy. Many in my province, there were dozens and dozens and dozens of very qualified people that came forward asking for an opportunity to serve. So we have been slower than we should have been and need to be to properly receive the advice of these advisory groups. But the good news is I think we're getting near the end of that process, and good news is coming very quickly.